So, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm joined by John, and we are sitting in his very nice white Tesla Model 3. I'm not jealous at all. I want to steal his car if I'm fair. I'm going to knock him over the head with this camera so I can take his camera. Before we get into that, and before we get into the kind of the nitty-gritty of this lovely Model 3, what cars have you owned before this? Now, you did own an EV before this particular car, didn't you?
I had a BMW i3.
Excellent, good choice.
It was the Rex. It was first generation, so 2016 model.
Oh, so the kind of lower battery range?
Yeah. So 80 miles ish.
Yeah.
On a good day. And I've taken it to Hereford and back, and it was great. Yeah, but that was kind of my step into the electric vehicle world.
It was a Rex. So did you actually use a Rex?
Only for long journeys.
So that's a bit about your car. So what's your kind of EV journey? Was it even electric an idea, or was it something you were looking at or even thinking about?
You know what? I'm a massive gadget head. I'm a tech head. I love my technology. So it was more interesting that world than it was anything else. And that just happened to be the new thing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of naturally went that way.
You started looking at that kind of world and that industry.
It wasn't the whole eco green credential thing wasn't really in my mindset at all.
It was tech first.
It was tech first. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough, and because you often get people that say, "I'm in it because it's green or it saves me money," and I think we're reasonably similar. I went the tech gadgety type route first, and the eco stuff and the
came with it.
Yeah, the climate stuff is like happy days, brilliant.
Yeah.
And obviously the money saving was even better. So so you've moved on from there quite substantially now, I would say, from an i3 Rex to
a Tesla Model 3 Performance.
So reasonably big upgrade then, isn't it? So so tell us a little bit more about the specs. You know, what for the people that don't know what the Tesla Model 3 Performance is, what do you get for that?
All Model 3s come with autopilot.
Yep.
The basic autopilot. This, I decided not to go for the full self-driving option.
Okay.
But essentially what the autopilot system gives you is tactical aware cruise control, traffic aware cruise control.
Tactical sounds brilliant.
Better, yeah.
Like missiles come out of the car.
Yeah. And auto steer, which basically the car keeps itself in lane and will go around corners for you, which is great. For long journeys, it's fantastic. This has got the performance rear motor and the induction front motor. The performance is 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
So it's quick.
Very quick. Now, it was 3.2.
But there's a software upgrade.
A software upgrade that came out later last year, which meant I got a 5% performance increase.
So I
don't think you can really. There's no other manufacturer in the world that can do that.
And let's just roll that back a minute. So, software upgrade of a car. So this to me is the most interesting bit. And me and another chap this morning was talking about this, in that it doesn't matter if you come in with a Tesla almost like a base model, because it's software. Most of the things, apart from if you're going dual or motors and things like that, everything pretty much is in the car. It just needs to be unlocked through software.
That's right. Yeah.
So the fact that they can send you was that a free upgrade?
A
free upgrade to increase the performance of your car is insane.
So it went from 3.2 seconds to 2.9, and it blew me away. And one of the other upgrades that came after I'd picked up the car as well, which was Netflix and YouTube and all of that in the car, and all the games and everything like that. And they added support for Xbox controllers or PS4 controllers. So you just plug it in. And,
so again, if you've got kids and things like that, or your parts and charging,
you've got something to do.
It seems a well thought out car.
They're vertically integrated.
Exactly.
They've done everything in house.
So they know everything works with each other. They know when they release a software upgrade that's going to work and it's going to benefit people.
Yep. really is.
So how long have you had the Model 3?
Picked it up on the 23rd or 24th of September. It's the most fun to drive, honestly.
And what was the pickup experience? So I've been talking to some of the other chaps with some of the other cars, and obviously we know the horror stories on Twitter and Facebook and things like that of people that are not just EVs but like normal cars, that you get some rubbish dealer and they spoil that experience of buying a new car.
I first found out about the Model 3 when it was revealed back in 2016. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And on the 1st of April, I put a reservation down. 3 years and 6 months later, I finally managed to pick the car up. All really easy, all really straightforward. So I placed my order in July. And Tesla do deliveries slightly different to other manufacturers. So
Yeah.
I forget which way round it is, but on the first of the quarter of the year, of a year, they manufacture cars for the rest of the world, and then at the end of the quarter they manufacture cars for the US and Canada,
Right,
places
okay.
like that. So you can expect a 3-month wait for your car. So I thought, well, it's probably going to be quite popular. I'm not going to get mine until November.
Yeah.
So I ordered in July, expecting November. Tesla were fantastic. I had an update when my car had been completed. I had an update when my car was on the boat. I had an update while it was in transit. I had an update when it arrived in Southampton. And then a week before I got my car, they let me know that my delivery day was going to be X. Make sure you bring Y, Z, A, B, C with you. And we'll see you there. But this is second to none, honestly.
Excellent.
Really good.
And that's kind of what you want. If you're buying a purchase price of that amount,
Yeah.
you want not just that you're buying a high amount car, and that shouldn't really make a difference to your purchase experience, but the fact that they've got that mindset about the customer is the important person here.
They look after you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. When I placed the order, I'm not sure how many people in the UK had kind of reserved the car, but a couple of years ago I actually got a thank you from Tesla for placing an order, which was like, well, a thank you from Elon, but it was like concept artwork of the Model 3.
Oh wow.
And a little thank you card from Elon and things like that. And it's that sort of customer in communication, and I don't know,
It's pure customer experience, isn't it?
Thanking the consumer.
So you've got the performance model.
Yeah.
What range does Tesla tell you it should do, and what is your real world range based on, let's say today, winterish, rain, 6 degrees? What should you what's the Tesla kind of?
I have a problem with the WLTP standard. It's far too
generous.
Yeah, far too generous. In fact, the EPA in America are much more better at working out kind of the range of the cars, but this has been stated to have EPA range of 315 miles. WLTP says 348. I'm going to be realistic, you don't get that.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think you get anyone with any EV will get what the WLTP
100%.
is.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I charge this to 80% every day. The range that I get, probably about 260 miles at 80%.
That's reasonable.
So
80%.
Yeah, I mean that's probably 65 kilowatt hours.
So are you looking close to 300 then, like for a full 100%?
If I do 100%, I'm near enough 300 miles.
And that's real world in this sort of.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because you bought it in September, so you kind of got it within the winter.
I'd say have a 20% kind of variance depending on the weather.
Yeah.
So I think minimum at least 250 miles in terrible wintry conditions, typical to the UK.
Yeah. And from that charge then, so obviously Tesla have the Supercharger network. Have you used that yet?
Have
And what's
a couple
that
of times.
experience been like?
Really good. So if your nav is routing through the superchargers, so to speak, it'll actually come up on the screen preconditioning battery for supercharging, which means it's heating it up, preparing it for supercharging, so you get a maximum amount of charge when you get there. So your trip is actually less because the battery is conditioned and ready to get charging. So I took a drive up along the M4 and I stopped at Membry Services. When I was navigating there, it preconditioned the car, and I was getting 125 to 150, but it depends on your state of charge,
of course,
how fast you get. But they really thought about it.
And availability of the chargers at that supercharger
that
network.
One was really busy, surprisingly.
Really? So how many were there at that one?
It was full up, so it was an 8-stall charger, and it was full up with Teslas.
But presumably you didn't have to wait too long.
I didn't have to wait too long at all, no. I mean, I was done. I had 30 or so % when I arrived, and I went up to 90 something, and I waited for about 15 minutes.
It's nothing really, is it?
It's great. It's really good. I didn't even have enough time to go in the services, have a wee and get a KFC, that sort of thing.
So this is the trouble with fast charging. Slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah.
So have you used other chargers of I would say of significant speed?
Shell.
So the what speed was that?
125 kilowatts.
Okay, and what was that compared to the supercharger network in terms of, presumably, the supercharger network, and forgive me, but that's a turn up, plug in, knows your car.
Yeah, so there's a handshake that happens at Tesla. So it automatically credits your account. It bills you. I think they bill you monthly. So if you do a lot of supercharging, it just tallies it up. It tells you on the screen what your last supercharger was, so as you can see, and how much it will cost you, and then they take that off once a month. And it's simple, it's easy, it's plug in and it's go. The Shell one was really useful actually, because it was literally just you turn up, it's contactless, plug it in, and off you go.
And away you go.
And they can't, and nobody can stop it unless you use your card.
It's got that benefit. So was you getting anywhere the same sort of charge rate as?
About 125.
So you were still getting a reasonable sort of amount. Excellent.
There have been talk about some third-party chargers having problems with Teslas.
Yeah.
They're not handshaking properly or whatever, but I think a lot of charger manufacturers realise how many of these are going to be on the road.
So they're going to be losing out, aren't they? Yeah. Just to wrap things up then, so obviously with the range that you've got, long journeys isn't a problem. Any planned long journeys now that you've got your Model 3, or any ones that you have done?
My wife and I want to go to Scotland, so we're going to go up there at some point. I want to go around Europe, because the supercharger network is all over Europe.
So you're not going to have a problem?
I'm really not going to worry. As you can see, if we zoom out, there are hundreds of charging points, all of those dots. So it's great. You can just pick one in Switzerland, nav there, and it will calculate the route from where you are, and it will take you through all the superchargers until you get there. It's just
amazing.
It is amazing, actually.
Excellent. Well, John, thanks very much for doing it. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm not jealous at all. But when and if I do get my Cybertruck, I will park it next to yours and look down upon it. Right, thanks, John.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate it.
No worries.